Hey everybody, Jared back once again, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the LG Nexus 4. So, after spending quite some time with the Nexus 4, I feel confident enough about it now to post my review, so here we are, and in keeping with tradition, we're going to start from the outside and work our way in. Now, at the time of this posting, due to its overall rare availability to purchase, the Nexus 4 was in 2012 and still is now in 2013 one of the most sought after Android devices on the market. And with good reason. We'll dive into those reasons as we continue. With a unibody design that sports Gorilla Glass on both the front and back with nice curved edges to complement it, it not only feels solid, but gives you that premium feel that you would normally expect out of a premium device that might actually cost you upwards of $600. Thankfully, though, Google's only asking $310 for an 8GB version and $350 for a 16GB version. An absolute steal of a deal. On the back of the Nexus 4, underneath its layer of glass, shows off a sort of glittery pattern that some say remind them of the Matrix. Myself, not so much, and I'm not really that much of a fan of glitter. But this doesn't actually bother me too much. We also have our 8-megapixel rear-facing camera that, like all premium handsets these days, records video in 1080p. And at the bottom we have our built-in speaker, which we'll talk about in a bit. The sides of the device actually sport two different plastic materials, a sort of rubbery texture that reminds me of the Kevlar backings that Motorola's new Razr devices come with, as well as a chrome strip that wraps around the entire device. Personally, I think the chrome looks cool and adds to the style, but at the same time, it shows little dings and scratches a little more than if they were to just go with the black rubbery texture instead. Now, the volume and power buttons are both located on each side of the device. Both are made from the same plastic chrome material as well, and in my opinion, are perfectly located on the device, at least for my hands anyways. Going over the device's ports, unlike the Galaxy Nexus, the headphones port is on the top this time, which sits next to a dual-purpose noise cancellation mic, and on the bottom we have another microphone as well as the micro USB port, which, with the use of an adapter, actually doubles as a HDMI out port. Now you'll also notice the two screws as well. These were placed not only for design, but also for hardware techs to get in there and muck around. Just an FYI, I highly recommend against unscrewing them and looking inside. Just saying. Now on the front, like I mentioned, the Nexus 4 features Gorilla Glass 2 to protect arguably one of the best mobile displays on the market right now. With its 4.7-inch true HD IPS display with a resolution of 1280 by 760 and a pixel density of 318, or as Google likes to round it up, a 320 DPI. We also have proximity and light sensors on the top left and a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera that can record video in 720p on the right, as well as the LED notification light located at the bottom center. And as far as Google's concerned, gone are the days of capacitive buttons, which they've made quite apparent by continuing on with their choice of on-screen buttons. Moving into the device now, the Nexus 4 comes with Android 4.2 right out of the box, and with a very simple software update, you'll be at Android 4.2.1 before you know it. And since the Nexus 4 is the only Android device in the world, for the moment, that has Android 4.2, we also get some special goodies such as the new lock screen, which allows you to add several widgets. Now for the moment, other than a few apps like Gmail, the clock, and a couple others, there aren't very many apps from the Play Store that have support for lock screen widgets. But as time goes on and manufacturers like Samsung, LG, HTC, and others start shipping devices with Android 4.2, hopefully sooner than later, I'm sure we'll see more and more app devs updating their apps to support this feature, which I, for one, find very unique and useful. Now let's just hope Google put a big fat patent on that one though. For those of you unfamiliar with Google Nexus devices, the UI is stock Android, or Holo UI if you really want to get specific. Now, this is Android the way Google intended, without all of those skins that companies like Samsung with TouchWiz or HTC with their Sense have layered on. This is about as simple as it gets, and in my opinion is a great way for users coming from iOS or other mobile platforms to get to know Android before they start exploring other popular Android devices in the future. As far as preloaded apps are concerned, it comes packed with all of Google's services, and now they've replaced the stock Android browser with Google Chrome, which, although still needs a little bit of work, is a much welcomed replacement. Now, I know a lot of you are disappointed with the Nexus 4 being shipped as a HSPA Plus only device, but you shouldn't think too badly of it. The Nexus 4 is the only device I've tested that gave me fantastic HSPA Plus speeds. I've experienced speeds of up to 12 megabits down and 5 up, But the Nexus 4 comes with a little secret. It does actually have an LTE radio built in that was disabled at the factory, which can actually be turned back on. Unfortunately, the LTE band that the Nexus 4's LTE radio uses only exists mainly in Canada, and I believe AT&T uses this band as well, but don't quote me on that. So if you're in Canada, well, you're in luck. Just type in some very easy to find codes from the interwebs, and you'll be getting LTE speeds in moments. Now, while we're on the topic of connectivity, the Nexus 4 also comes with NFC and Android Beam, as you would expect, but it also has MirrorCast support, which is a new way to wirelessly mirror your device onto an HD TV. Moving into the settings menu, there isn't a whole lot that's changed, but you will notice in the display settings menu an option for something called Daydream, which is essentially a screensaver for while you're charging your device or have it docked. Now, I can see this being cool on a tablet, but I'm just not feeling it on a smartphone. And below that, you'll also notice an option for wireless display. This is actually the MirrorCast option I mentioned earlier. You may also notice Google has removed developer options from the list. This is actually a good thing since Nexus devices are becoming more mainstream, and as new users buy the Nexus 4, Google doesn't want to start confusing users with all these developer-like options and settings, although some Android enthusiasts may disagree. But they can easily be accessed again by navigating into the About Phone section and tapping on the build number several times. So with the release of Android 4.2, the camera definitely had a complete overhaul. Opening up the camera app, you'll notice right away some of the changes, such as an indicator circle in the middle of the screen that when touched turns green when the image is in focus, and long pressing on the circle reveals the new settings menu. And although the stock Android camera app leaves some to be desired, it does actually pack a few popular options such as HDR and the super innovative and popular Photosphere mode, which allows you to take 360-degree photos that currently, when viewed on the device or posted and viewed from Google+, lets people see the photo in 360 degrees, so actually rotating the photo to see what's in front, to the sides, and behind. Really, really cool stuff there. And although I've seen better cameras on smartphones, I've also seen a lot worse. Now, the camera isn't the best for low lighting situations and performs okay in well-lit situations, but the video recorder works pretty darn good. The audio is crisp and clear, and the video handles pretty good in well-lit situations. Unfortunately, video still suffers the same from low lighting. The overall performance of the Nexus 4 has really been a breath of fresh air, and a first for me so far. I've been lucky enough to review many devices, some of which rival the Nexus 4 in specs on paper, but I have to say that the Nexus 4's performance is second to none. When comparing it to the Galaxy Note 2, which has similar internal hardware specs, the Nexus 4 on a day-to-day basis just flat out performs better. Now, that is a matter of opinion and experiences, and some of you may disagree, and that's okay, but for me, it's been flawless. This is where Android should have been a couple years ago, but better late than never, right? Now, while we're on the topic of performance, let's touch base on a few things here. With a Qualcomm quad-core Snapdragon S4 Pro CPU and an Adreno 320 GPU, the Nexus 4 is among the top-tier devices of 2012, and even moving into 2013. It's fast, really fast, and that 2 gigs of RAM really brings out its full potential. The performance is really most noticeable with tasks like taking pictures, opening apps, loading web pages in the browser, and heavy multitasking, as well as gaming. And gaming on the Nexus 4 is just flat out awesome. With the super sharp True HD IPS display paired with the brute processing power of the CPU and GPU, high resource demanding games run like a dream and look amazing too. And with 2 gigs of RAM, you don't have to worry about closing down apps from fear of in-game lag. And if you don't have your headphones plugged in while killing zombies, the built-in speaker on the back is friggin' loud. Motorola has been known for years to have the best built-in speakers out there. They're loud, clear, and crisp, and rarely distort. The speaker on the Nexus 4 is right up there with Motorola's best. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about the rear speaker. I did want to mention, though, that after about 15 minutes of playing big games like Need for Speed and others, the back of the device became uncomfortably hot. But not too hot where I couldn't hold it. But that experience did raise a bit of concern. Alright, now let's talk battery. The Nexus 4 has been brutally attacked for its small 2100 mAh non-removable battery, and understandably so. When comparing to its brother, the LG Optimus G, which also has a 2100 mAh battery, LG has seemed to do something different with the Optimus G in that it holds a charge for several hours longer in my experiences with both devices. But I want you all to keep something in mind. Although a user shouldn't be expected to fiddle around with their device to get optimal battery performance out of it, There are several ways to conserve battery life without sacrificing too much day-to-day functionality, such as, I don't know, removing some apps that may need to be updated so that they quit waking the device when it's sleeping, turning off mobile data, GPS and Wi-Fi when not in use, and so on. Just those few steps there will increase any Android device's battery by hours, so keep that in mind. There's also various battery optimizing apps that I've been testing out for a few weeks now, which I do plan on reviewing in the near future that will also aid additionally. Now, something that a lot of mobile tech reviewers touch base on is call quality. Personally, I think it's stupid because not every carrier is of the same quality, not all devices are built the same, not everyone's ears hear the same. And when you factor in the environment as well as signal strength, all during a call, there's no way to give a review based on consistency because as far as that topic is concerned, in my opinion, consistency doesn't exist. But in my experiences with the Nexus 4, the call sounded just fine. Now, some folks have claimed that it sounds tinny. I disagree. I think it sounded just like any other device I use to make calls based on the same signal strength, carrier, and all those other factors I mentioned. So, overall, the LG Nexus 4 is one hell of a device. Other than the minor manufacturer defects that my Nexus 4 came with, it's quite possibly the best bang for your buck out there. For $350, you're getting an unlocked device from Google that will continue to receive the latest in Android updates for a long time to come. The latest top-of-the-line internal components such as the CPU and GPU, also one of the best displays for mobile devices on the market today, 16 gigs of storage, and amazing customer service for when and if you ever have a problem with it. Seriously though, Google customer support gave me the best customer support experience I've ever had with any company in any industry, period. Now, that might also have something to do with the fact that Google knows they've pissed off a lot of people due to the lack of availability. So anyways, do I recommend this device? Yeah, I highly recommend this device, as long as you can wait for more to become available. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. That concludes our review of the LG Nexus 4 from Google. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, shoot me some love by hitting that likes button down below. And if you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing for more videos like this in the future. We do have best apps of the week on Monday and best games of the week on Thursday. That's it for now though, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.